If you stand on your porch at night and look up at the sky, what you're really seeing is just a small neighborhood inside an unimaginably massive city. Our neighborhood is the solar system, with the sun as its street lamp, the planets as its houses, and the comets and asteroids as tiny pebbles scattered across the driveway. But here's the real question. What is above and below that neighborhood? What is sitting beyond the known edges of our solar system? And what lies beneath it? The answer to this question is both simple and complicated. Simple because if you were standing in your backyard right now, above is the sky and below is the ground. Complicated because the solar system doesn't sit on any ground. It floats inside the Milky Way galaxy, surrounded by stars and dust in every direction. So scientists define above and below relative to the flat disk of the Milky Way. To put it into a simpler context, the Milky Way is like a giant pancake spinning in space. Our solar system isn't in the middle, and it isn't perfectly flat on the pancake either. We're slightly tilted, and we wobble up and down as we orbit the galaxy. So, in this cosmic pancake, above is one side of the disk, below is the other. So let's start close, and then climb outward, above and below. Above the solar system, or more accurately surrounding it, sits something called the heliosphere. Think of it as the solar system's bubble, blown out by the solar wind. The solar wind is a constant stream of charged particles racing away from the sun in all directions. The solar wind is the fastest wind you could imagine, traveling up to 900 kilometers per second. That's about 2 million miles per hour. If you were to drive your car at full speed down a highway, let's say about 100 kilometers per hour, you'd need about 89 years to match what a solar wind particle covers in just a single day. And this bubble isn't small. The heliosphere stretches more than 120 times the distance from Earth to the Sun. Now, imagine pushing even farther. At the edges of this bubble lies the heliopause, the ultimate border between our solar system's influence and the deep sea of interstellar space. Voyager 1, the fastest and farthest human-made spacecraft, finally reached this border in 2012 after traveling nonstop for 35 years. But what if I told you that even after leaving the heliosphere, Voyager is still considered inside our cosmic neighborhood? This is because the bubble is just the start. Beyond it lies the real unknown. To learn more about Voyager 1 and all of its mind-blowing discoveries, be sure to watch our earlier video, which you'll find linked at the end of this one. Now, let's talk about what's below the solar system, relative to reference planes. Beneath the familiar 8 planets lies the Kuiper Belt, a ring of icy bodies beyond Neptune. This is where Pluto lives, along with other dwarf planets like Eris, Haumea, and Makemake. These are worlds of ice, methane, and rock preserved from the earliest days of the solar system. The Kuiper Belt stretches from about 30 astronomical units to 55 astronomical units away from the Sun. For comparison, 1 astronomical unit, or AU, is the distance between Earth and the Sun, about 93 million miles. So, to cross the Kuiper Belt, you'd need to cover billions of miles of frozen territory. Beyond the Kuiper Belt lies the Oort cloud, a theoretical sphere of icy objects surrounding the solar system in every direction. If the solar system were a house, the Oort cloud would be its picket fence, except this fence is so far away that no human machine has ever come close to reaching it. The Oort cloud might begin around 2,000 AU from the Sun and could stretch all the way to 100,000 AU. To put that into perspective, if you were to fly there in a commercial airplane cruising at 600 miles per hour, you'd arrive in about 19 million years. By then, continents on Earth would have shifted, mountain ranges would have risen and eroded, and humanity itself may or may not even exist. But is that all that's to it? Absolutely not. Because above, below, and beyond the Oort cloud lies something even stranger, the interstellar medium. This is the thin soup of gas, dust, magnetic fields, and cosmic rays that fills the space between stars. It's not empty, even though it looks like it. If you were to hold out a glass of interstellar medium, you wouldn't see anything. but in every cubic centimeter of that glass, there might be a few atoms, drifting and colliding at unimaginable speeds. And then, zooming out even farther, we find our solar system isn't sitting still. It's moving at breakneck speed. The Sun is orbiting around the center of the Milky Way galaxy at about 828,000 kilometers per hour. That's 514,000 miles per hour. Do you realize what that means? Right now, as you're watching this video, our entire solar system is flying through the galaxy. Now, if you could look below the plane of the solar system, what you'd see is that the planets themselves orbit along a thin, flat disk called the ecliptic plane. This plane is like the solar system's cosmic dance floor, with all the major planets twirling in almost the same flat alignment. Above this plane, however, you'd find tilted objects, comets, asteroids, and rogue bodies cutting across. Let's even say that you wanted to measure the thickness of this solar dance floor. The disk itself is only a few degrees thick compared to the vastness of its diameter, meaning the solar system is flatter than a pancake. And yet, despite its thinness, it controls the motion of everything within it. But let's pull back farther. What if I told you that our solar system is not just floating randomly? It's tucked inside one of the spiral arms of the Milky Way galaxy, called the Orion Arm or Orion Spur. Above us lies the thick star clouds of the Sagittarius Arm, and below us are sparse star fields drifting toward the outer rim. To put this into perspective, the Milky Way is about 100,000 light-years across, and our solar system is just about 27,000 light-years from the galactic center. And finally, beyond the galaxy itself, above and below it lie structures so colossal that they make the solar system look like dust. We're talking about the local group of galaxies, then the Virgo supercluster, then the Laniakea supercluster, an interwoven web of thousands of galaxies stretching hundreds of millions of light-years across. If the solar system is your home and the Milky Way is your neighborhood, then the Laniakea supercluster is the entire continent. So, what lies above and below the solar system? Everything from the Kuiper Belt to the Oort cloud, from the heliopause to interstellar space, from the ecliptic plane to the Orion Arm, from the Milky Way to the web of galaxies that stitch the universe together. And beneath it all, within the solar system itself, lies the quiet hum of gravity holding it together, the unseen hand that keeps every planet in orbit, every comet in its path, every atom of dust in its cosmic lane. And yet, for all our knowledge, that still doesn't answer the deepest question. Where does it all end? Above and below, farther and farther, do we ever reach a wall, a ceiling, a floor? Or does the universe stretch on forever, leaving our little solar system nothing more than a speck in an infinite sea? For now, the only answer I can give is this. If you were to stand on your porch at night and look up, what you're really seeing is both the smallest and the largest story ever told. Above us lies the road to infinity, and below us lies the roots of our own beginning. And between them, glowing softly in the dark, is the sun, keeping the lights on in our small cosmic neighborhood.